Building good habits is really tough, and I don't blame you if you can't build good, consistent habits like I have. When I was much younger, trying to build consistent habits for exercising and reading, it's really tough to do. I could only last a week or even less, like a day, before I quit that habit. But recently, I've consistently been exercising like for 2 months now, and I've been consistently reading for 2 months now. And I'm going to be teaching you exactly how I did that from my personal experience and from the book Atomic Habits. The first thing we must understand about building good habits is our identity must revolve around the good habit. Now, what does this mean? Well, let's say you want to build a habit of exercising. Start identifying yourself as an athlete, okay? Then start identifying yourself as someone who enjoys exercising. Start identifying yourself as someone who likes weightlifting or someone who likes running. This is called the placebo effect. Once you start believing that you are something, you are going to start becoming that something. When you believe in something, it starts to become true. And it's a weird thing. The placebo effect is very weird, but it's very strong and powerful. Now, how do we convince our minds really that we are an athlete? Because some of the advice I heard online about becoming like an athlete, for example, you just sit there and say, I'm an athlete, I'm an athlete, I'm an athlete, over and over, and you don't even exercise or anything. You just sit there and hope that you'll just be an athlete. And you'll be that person. It doesn't work. So you have to convince your mind that you are this person who reads consistently, that you are a musician, that you are a guitarist, or that you are a student who gets good grades. You have to convince yourself. And that's going to be the second step. The second thing you need for building consistent habits and for building a frame around your core habit, the one you are trying to build, is progressive overload. This is an exercise term used mainly for describing building something over time. So, for example, you lift like a light weight, and then over time you build towards a much harder weight. I use this for reading. I read 1 page every day for a week. Then the next week, I read 2 pages every day for the whole week. Then I read 3 pages every day for the whole week. Then 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then 8, yeah. And so it builds over time. Now this comes with 2 benefits. The first benefit, it's very easy to do, and it scales over time. Now, it isn't a fast method, but have you ever tried a fast method? Like, have you ever tried to, like, go straight into a hard workout and say, oh, I'm going to do this every day, and then quit the second day? Yeah, that's basically it. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. You can try and do the high rep range and try and stick with that, but it doesn't work. It's best to stick right below your means. And this is where you have to kind of push your ego away, because your ego is going to say, hey, we can do 20 reps. We can do 20 reps. All right? But no, just stick to 1 push-up. Just stick to 1 half push-up. All right? And then next week you can do 1 half a push-up more. Then slowly you're going to build and you're going to become stronger over time. And then the second thing, this is very easy to do. Like when you start at 1 page every day and the next one and the next one, it's very easy and very consistent. And when it's very consistent, it's very easy to wrap your identity around this habit. Use like exercise for an example. Let's say you've been like doing a light exercise, but you've still been exercising every day. Now you consistently exercise. You've been exercising consistently for the past 2 weeks. You've been consistently exercising. You're an athlete. Now you've consistently exercised for the past 2 months. You are super consistent now. You've been doing it for the past 2 months. That's crazy. For the past 2 years, now you're guaranteed, you're absolutely consistent. You are the kind of person, you are an athlete, absolutely, without a doubt. You can build your identity. It's so easy to shape your identity and fit it when you are consistent, because you are constantly proving to yourself that you are this person. When you read every day, even if it's just one page, you are constantly proving to yourself that you are that person who reads every day. The third thing you need to build consistent habits is just a bunch of tiny things you need to keep note of that will help a lot when it comes to building consistent habits. The first thing is the habit loop. The habit loop is cue, craving, routine, and reward. Let's use ice cream as an example. The cue is seeing the ice cream on the table or in the freezer. The craving is wanting the ice cream. You see the ice cream and you want it now. The routine is grabbing the spoon and then eating the ice cream, putting it in a bowl and eating the ice cream. I don't know, why would you eat it in a tub? Anyway, and then the reward is the ice cream itself, the taste of the ice cream. You feel pleasure from that ice cream, and now you feel happy. This is how all habits work. All habits work this way. Now, certain habits like reading and exercising, they don't have the same charm. They don't have the same strength as like other habits do. So what we need to do to make these habits more consistent is we need to make this loop stronger. So what do I mean by stronger? Well, if we want to make this cue, craving, routine, and reward loop stronger, what we need to do is first cue. It has to be obvious. You need to be able to see the habit. So put your book out on your bedstand or like in the living room, somewhere where you can see it. That way the habit is always going to be there. Well, every time you see the book, you're going to be like, oh, I should go read. Same thing works with like exercise equipment. Just put it down and say, okay, there's the exercise equipment. I should start exercising. It's right there. That's the cue for exercising. You see the exercise equipment and you can then go to exercising. That triggers the habit. The next is the craving. This is really good. When you are learning your habit, the best way to crave for a habit is to start like understanding the benefits of the habit. When you understand the benefits of the habit, you start to crave the habit more. And then there's also habit chaining. And that kind of ties into reward as well. Not habit chaining, but tying your habits with a reward. When you do this and you crave the reward, like another reward, but you've tied it to your initial habit, then you start to like crave the habit you're chasing because you want the reward at the end. Now, the thing is, your reward must complement your identity. Your reward can't, like if you're exercising, if you're being an athlete, you can't have your reward be ice cream. That's taking one step forward, 2 steps back. What you need to do is like create a reward or find a reward that you enjoy that ties into your identity. Like if you go for a run, have your reward be going for a walk. It ties in with your identity, and it's also very good. It's very good for you, and it's very pleasurable as well. Then, routine. It's got to be as easy as possible. This is why progressive overload works, because it's easy to do. Progressive overload makes it super easy at the beginning and slowly progresses, so it's never super hard. And so it's really hard to quit. Or it's not that it's not hard, it's not that it's really hard to quit, but it's really easy to not quit. And then the last one, reward, we kind of wrapped it up. The reward at the end is what you get out of it. Like, it has to be satisfying. What you can make the reward more satisfying by like creating like a measurement of all the days that you did read. This will make it more satisfying when you actually finish reading, because you'll be able to mark down all the times that you've read. and you get to see the progress over time. These 3 things all work so effective. These 4 things, these 4 tactics make habits so much stronger and make your habit that you're trying to build so strong. These are all the things I pretty much did when it came to building my habit of reading and exercising. One of the last things I recommend you do is have an accountability partner. This kind of goes into reward a little bit, making it satisfying and unsatisfying. Make it as unsatisfying as possible to skip out on your routine, to skip out on your habit. This is kind of what I did on the YouTube channel. I stated on the YouTube channel that if I skip making a video one day, that I'm just going to post that I was lazy that day. And it's not fun to say out loud that you're lazy. It's not cool. So you're basically being accountable. Having an accountability buddy is really helpful. And I recommend you find a friend who has a similar goal, and you can help each other be accountable for your actions and for your habits. And thus you guys can be stronger. And that wraps everything up. So as your actionable step, do the things I mentioned. Find a habit to build that you really want to build, like exercise, reading, or maybe a new habit. Find one of these things, and as always, you got this, bro. As an extra note, please send this and share this to somebody who you know will benefit from this video a lot. I know that I wanted a video like this when I was younger, and so I hope I can give that to you. So please give this video to someone who you know will find lots of value in it, and thank you.